So the continuation of moles topic. This is the question we were discussing in the last session, that which one is a limiting reagent. So how to work out which one is a limiting or which one is an access. But to compare them, you should both have the same unit. Here silicon moles are there, but for bromine, you have the mass. So it cannot be done like this. It should be in the same unit. So first, and how? What is bromine? Bromine is Br2, a molecule. So when you find the moles of the bromine first, the moles will be equal to mass in gram, which is 25 divided by molar mass. So one bromine is 80, but because we have two, so it will be 80 multiplied by 2, which is 160. So 25 divided by 160, what's the answer for the moles? 0.1, 0.156. 25 divided by 160, 0.42. 0. Why can't we use the ratio in the formula method? In the formula method, in what sense, Mohsin? Can you can use your mic, Mohsin, to clear your question?
So like we take the moles of silicon and then we multiply by 2 to get the moles of bromine.
Oh, yeah, that can be done. But look, you can do that method also. Example, you have a silicon and bromine. The ratio between them is 1:2. So if I have 0.07 moles of silicon, then it will be X moles of bromine cross multiply. When I cross multiply, it will be 0.14 moles of bromine. And then using this moles, I will find the mass in gram, like 0.14 moles of bromine. What will be the mass in gram? So I'll multiply by 160. If 0.14 multiplied by 160, what is the answer?
22.4.
22.4. So means I need 22.4 gram of bromine. That is what we need for a complete reaction. But how much we have? 25. So we have more than what we need. So it means the bromine is an access, or we can also say silicon is a limiting. This is one way, as you asked, this is one way of solving this question. Using a moles of silicon, I got the moles of bromine, which I need. And using a moles of bromine, I'll get the mass of a bromine, which I need. And 22.4 gram of bromine, what we need, but we have more than what we need. That's why bromine is in excess, so silicon will be a limiting. This is one way. Another way, you can compare their moles, but this method also, it's up to you what method you find it convenient. Like silicon and bromine, the ratio between them is 1:2. So if we have 0.07 moles of silicon, how many moles of bromine should be there? X. So we should have 0.14 moles of bromine. But we cannot compare. Here we have moles, and in the question we have the mass. So we should know, according to these number of moles, what should be the mass in gram. So the mass of bromine, which is needed for a reaction, will be equal to moles multiplied by molar mass. So moles were 0.14 and the molar mass of a bromine is 160. So you are getting 22.4. So this 22.4 grams of a bromine, what we need. And In the question in the beginning they mentioned we have 25 gram of bromine, so we need only 22.4, but we have more than what we need. So what we can say that bromine is more than enough, or bromine is in excess. And if bromine is in excess, if one reagent is in excess, the other reagent will be a limiting reagent, or the reagent which will be used up.
Yes, sir, clear.
Is it clear, this part? So the answer, which one is a limiting reagent? So silicon is a limiting reagent. Then how many moles of SiBr4 silicon tetrabromide are formed? So I told, whenever you're finding the product, you always take a limiting reagent to get the product. Because if you take an excess reagent, it means the excess one is not completely used up, so you'll get a wrong amount of a product. So limiting reagent decide how much product is formed. So ratio between silicon and silicon tetrabromide, what is the ratio between them? It's 1:1. So you can see clearly. So how many moles will be there? 0.07 moles will be there, because the mole ratio between them is 1:1. A similar question in the second variant you will find, instead of bromine they give fluorine. Okay, in this question 0.08 moles of silicon reacted with 7.2 grams of fluorine. Which one is a limiting reagent? So what we can do, we can take a ratio between silicon and fluorine first to get the moles of fluorine. The ratio between them is 1:2. So if you have 0.08 moles of silicon, then X moles of fluorine. Cross multiply. So 0.16 moles of fluorine will be there. But you need the mass of fluorine. So how to get the mass? Mass is equals to moles multiplied by molar mass. Moles are 0.16, and molar mass of a fluorine, atomic mass is 19, but because it's a molecule, so 19 multiplied by 2, 38. So 38 into 0.16, what is the answer? 38 multiplied by 0.16. 6.08. So 6.08 grams, that is of fluorine, what we need for a complete reaction. But we have 7.2. This is what we have in the beginning. And we just only need 6.08 for a reaction. So which one is a limiting reagent? So silicon is a limiting reagent again. And actually in variants, they normally change the numbers, but the concept remains the same. And now silicon, we need the moles of silicon tetrafluoride. So we will take a limiting reagent. The ratio is 1:1. So we'll get 0.08 moles. Okay, in this question, actually it is about empirical formula. Titanium ore contains 36.8% iron, 31.6% titanium, and remainder is oxygen. What is the percentage of oxygen? What will be the remaining oxygen percentage? The total percentage will be 100, so you subtract the sum of iron and titanium percentage, that is 31.6 as well. basically 100 minus 36.8 minus 31.6. Calculate the number of the moles. Calculate the number of moles. Calculate the number of moles of each atom, or number of moles of atom of each element. The number of moles of iron they did, how they got the number of moles, percentage in this time, because they're taking a percentage as a mass. So basically percentage divided by mass, they got the moles. How to get the moles of titanium? So 31.6 divided by mass of the titanium. So you have to use a periodic table. Atomic mass of titanium. Titanium is a transition element. Here it's atomic mass 48. So 31.6 divided by 48. So we will get 0.658. When you are finding a ratio, better write in 3 decimal places the number for accuracy. And for oxygen, it was 30. So this was 31.6 divided by 48. That was 0.658. And for oxygen, it is 31.6 divided by 16, which is equals to 1.975. Now to get, so simplest ratio, how to take a simplest ratio? You will divide, to take a simplest ratio, look, iron was 0.6. This is also 0.568 or 0.66. And this is 1.975. How we can take a simplest ratio? We divide by the smallest value. So 0.568, sorry, 0.658. So we'll divide by 0.658 each number. What is the answer for iron? It is 1, this is 1, and this one is 3. So the simplest ratio, when we take the simplest ratio, this will be 1, 1, and 3. Because this was approximately, so the formula FeTiO3. This one, you can use a screen annotation to solve this question. It is also the same thing. First get the moles from the mass. For water, atomic molecular mass is 18, oxygen atomic mass 16, and iron is 56. I want everyone to use screen annotation. You can solve on the same side, or you can use your own side and write the answers. Use screen annotation to answer this one. Okay, thank you for your participation. I'll show the marking scheme as well. This one is question 8, May June 12. So these are the things. So you were getting 0.93 was there, 1.39, 0.93 was there. When we divide by the smallest value, the final answer is Fe2O3.2H2O, because the simplest ratio is 232. Why 232? Because when you divide by the smallest value, like 0.93 is the smallest, you divide by 0.93, it was 1, 1.5 and 2. Whenever 1.5, 2.5, you'll multiply them by 2. So the correct formula was Fe2O3, and 2 water molecules were there. Fe2O3 or 2 water molecules. Even it's iron 2 or iron 3, both have the same mass. Like iron can be plus 2 charge or plus 3 charge, but you don't have to bother about. You just take a simplest ratio and you get the answer. When you're getting an answer in your answer, you're getting Fe2O3.2H2O. So now this is showing that the iron which is present is plus 3 here. But because the first thing is divide by atomic mass, so even it's iron 2 or iron 3, both have the same atomic mass, so that will not make difference to the question. And rust is actually hydrated iron 3 oxide, because that is why we called for rusting of iron to occur. Iron should lose electron. Moving on to the next question. The concentration of hydrochloric acid. This is a concentration of hydrochloric acid. The volume of acid needed to neutralize 25 cm cube was 20. So this is the volume of sodium hydroxide and this is the volume of hydrochloric acid. Calculate the concentration of lithium hydroxide. How you will do this question? You have the concentration of hydrochloric acid and you have the volume of hydrochloric acid. You need the concentration of lithium hydroxide. You can use the screen annotation to show how you will work out, and you can use the separate sides. It's not necessary you try to use the same space. You can write at the bottom, far right, far left. It's okay. The reason why I want you to use a screen annotation, so I can check your understanding of the topic. That's the only reason. The hint for this question: first, using a concentration and volume, find the moles of HCl, then from moles of HCl, find the moles of lithium hydroxide, and then concentration is moles over volume. It is difficult to use a mouse and write, so you can also type if you want to. The volume of HCl the volume of acid needed to neutralize the 25 cm cube lithium hydroxide is 20. So 20 is the volume of HCl, not 25. 25 is the volume of lithium hydroxide. Yeah, that's right, 1.76 or 1.77. So there's also a short method. The reason why I was letting everyone to do this in their own way, but there's also a short method for this. That is good. When you do this in exam, you will get the marks. But a short formula for this, whenever there's an acid base reaction and this formula does not require any unit conversion, the formula is C1 V1 over N1 equals C2 V2 over N2. And in this formula, there is no need to convert any unit because this formula is using a ratios. What is C1? C1 is one side is for acid and the other side is for base or alkali. So C1 V1 over N1 equals C2 V2 over N2. C1 is the concentration of acid which we know. What is the concentration of acid? 2.2. So I'll write 2.2. V1 is the volume of acid which was 20. N1 is the moles of the acid. N means the moles. How many moles of acid from equation? 1. C2 is the concentration of alkali which we don't know. V2 is the volume of the alkali which is 25. And N2 is the moles of the alkali which is 1. So when I solve this, 2.2 into 20 divided by 25, what is the answer? 2.2 multiplied by 20 divided by 25. What's the answer? So 1.76. So 1.76 mole per dm cube. And this is a formula which you can use when there is an acid base reaction and you need concentration of either acid or alkali or volume of acid or alkali. So C1 V1 over N1 equals, the first method can also be used, like the whole working what you did in the previous part, that can also be used. That is not a wrong method, but this is a short method to do the same question. And this is only valid for acid alkali or acid base reactions. C1 V1 over N1 equals C2 V2 over N2. Is it clear? Solve this question. I will write the answer. In experiment, maximum volume of oxygen produced is 96 cm3. Calculate the concentration of hydrogen peroxide. Number of moles of oxygen. If we have the volume of gas, how to get the moles from volume of the gas? How to get the moles? Divide by 24. This volume should be in dm cube. Yes, volume occupied divided by 24. So that is 0.096. Divide by 24, so that is 0.004. Number of moles of hydrogen peroxide. How to get the moles of hydrogen peroxide? We have the volume, but we don't know the moles. So how to, this is hydrogen peroxide and we know the moles of oxygen. So what we will use? We'll use the ratio. What will be the answer? The ratio is 2:1. So 0. Yeah, that is 0.08 or 0.008. And then need a concentration. You have the volume, you have the mole. What is the concentration? You can just type or write the answer in the place after writing finding a concentration, after finding the moles, and using moles and volume you can write the concentration. So that is equals to 0.2 moles per dm cube. Okay, in this question, calculate the maximum mass of a zinc which would react with 50 cm cube and 2 mole per dm cube hydrochloric acid. So I will give you a hint. First you will get the moles of hydrochloric acid. From moles of hydrochloric acid, find the moles of the zinc, and from moles of zinc multiply by molar mass of a zinc. Atomic mass, basically here the molar mass will be atomic mass because zinc is an atom. As you can see, the position of a zinc, it is 65. So use this space to solve the question. You can use your any part of the screen to write the answer. First find the moles of HCl. From moles of HCl, find the moles. You can write in short. I understand the fact that it's difficult to write all. You can write in short. So even directly, instead of converting the hydrochloric acid, HCl is an acid and concentration is there, so it cannot be divided by 24. It should be concentration into volume, because acid, alkali, salt solution, this 24 is valid for gases only. So moles equal concentration multiplied by volume. So 0. Yes, 0.05 multiplied by 2. You get 0.1. Zinc is 65, that's right. Then the ratio you use, you got 0.5 and then multiply by 2. You can also type and then you can paste if you find it that convenient. Zinc atomic mass of zinc is 65. Yeah, 0.05 moles will be there and that is multiplied by 65. So you will get the mass in gram. Then the last, Uzair, I saw this was the last part for the class today. Tomorrow also we'll do moles question, and I want participation from everyone tomorrow as well. Tomorrow most of the question you will solve and I will help you out if needed. Any question related to the class today? Okay, so I'll end the session and share this.